Okay. It is after 5:30 and I'm calling the June 25th meeting to order. So now roll call.
Yes, ma'am.
Billy Freeman Jr.,
Present.
Alvin Patton, Felicia Davis,
Present.
Hector Gutierrez,
Present.
Bennett Joyner, Victoria Williams, Rhonda Wright.
Okay, next, a motion to approve the minutes.
Then we need to adopt the agenda first.
Adopt the agenda. Okay, she can read. Okay, we're needing to adopt the agenda.
Yep, so we need to call for a motion to
Motion to adopt the
adopt the agenda with any additions or deletions.
Yeah, what she said.
So I do have one deletion, item number 2, the review and discussion of the TowerCom lease agreement, needs to be removed. Gives us an opportunity. We need to do a little bit more research, and we will table this item for, what month are we in? To our July meeting. Thank you.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve the agenda with that?
With the removal of item 2.
I second.
In favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, has everyone reviewed the minutes? Motion to approve the minutes?
I motion to approve the minutes. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. New business. We removed number 2, legal report.
I usually don't have much to share with you, but I do have a number of things this evening. First of all, I'd like to give all of you an update on the status of the pending sales contracts. We have two pieces of property that are currently under contract for sale. One of those is 794 Main Street, that is under contract for sale to the Georgia Utility Contractors Association, Inc. for $150,000. They have paid their $5,000 retainer. The contract is fully executed. They have a 90-day due diligence period that began May 1st. So that will be running out at the end of next month. Their title report is already back, and we've acknowledged that there were a couple of little things that showed up on the title, but it was quite honestly, I responded to it as we're to do. It really had to do with the wording of a witness's statement title. Nothing that I think we need to be concerned about. They are to submit their plans for the building. That's due by the end of July. I have advised their counsel that if I could please get it in a little bit earlier, then we could, the authority could review that at next month's meeting, respond if there are any concerns about it. If they wait till the end of July to give it to us, it may be another month before they get our comments back. So that one's moving forward. We also have a contract on 770, 790 Main Street with PDC Land Acquisitions LLC, which is a entity created by Prestwick Development, a single purpose entity. That contract is for $300,000. Likewise, there's $5,000 earnest money deposit that has been paid. Their title exam ended May the 30th, and we've had no report of any objections to the title on the property. Their due diligence actually ends this month. Technically, they were to have submitted their plans to us within 30 days of the contract, which would have been the middle of last month. I'm going to reach out to their attorney. The reason I tell you that I don't think that's a serious flaw at this point is that their contract really doesn't go hard until the end of this year because it's conditioned on their receiving award of low-income housing tax credits by the end of the year. So we could review their plans and approve their plans, and it wouldn't make any difference. It's still not gonna anything happen until after the end of the year. But they do need to understand they need to get their plans to us so that we can review. So that's where we stand on those two items. We have a couple of issues on 850. We have never gotten, Mr. Chairman, we've never gotten an executed lease back from the dentist. I have reached out to his attorney. She was out of state, but did respond by email and said that she would get in touch with her client just as soon as she got back, and get back to me. And we have not been receiving our rent payments pursuant to that. So I have let them know that if they do not, within the next 15 days, send us a executed lease and catch the rent payments up, then we'll have no choice than to start a dispossessory.
I think I can just go over there. He's a pretty straight up guy.
I know, it's really strange. I
Stay out of
don't,
it because the law.
if you don't mind stopping in, and I can't talk to him personally because he's got an attorney.
Okay.
You can talk to him anytime you want to. So
Okay.
if you can stop in over there and just say, hey, what's going on? We hadn't gotten our rent payment, we never got the lease back. Maybe that'll prod things along, because it's, even before, he was paying his rent, even though we had some, lease had expired. So I don't know what's going on, but we need to check on that. Also, in relationship to 850, not directly involving us, but during the time that the city was in that building and during the time the recreation department was managing the upstairs spaces, a community facility, there was a lady who apparently got trapped in the elevator, stuck between floors or something. She has filed a lawsuit against the city and against, it's a third party. I'm assuming it was whoever was putting on the event that she was going to as corporate entity. There was an inspection of the elevator pursuant to that. Her lawyers had hired inspectors to inspect the elevator. I attended that inspection this week. We do not have the official report back, but I can tell you from just watching and talking to the guys that were inspecting the elevator, they really didn't find anything wrong with the elevator. It was functioning like it should function. So I don't expect anything back from that. Billy, I don't know if we had planned to do any renovations to the elevator or replace the elevator or anything of that nature, renovations, but now that inspection has been complete, we're free to do whatever they need.
Yeah, no, we put a new, all new belts and a new motor on the existing elevator because that one elevator there is too small. The shaft is too small to replace it. And
Right.
If we did anything, we had to put a new elevator outside the building.
Okay.
And that was too expensive, but
Okay.
the guy told me that elevator was perfect.
Okay. And like I say, the inspection that these guys didn't, and I mean, they were pretty thorough. They were all in and out and over and running it, stopping it between floors.
What happened to the woman?
The best that I can tell, and the attorney representing the insurance company for the city sent me a copy of the complaint, but unfortunately, their scanner or whatever only scanned every other page of it. So I gotta get back to her because I didn't get all of it, but from what I could gather, it got stopped between floors. She couldn't, the phone, she said the phone in the elevator wasn't working. She couldn't call for help. Her cell phone didn't work. Apparently she managed to get the door open and had to jump out of the elevator.
That,
Was she by herself at this event?
I don't know.
look, you can't get paid for not smart.
Well, the elevator,
Maybe you can.
there's only about 9 feet between the floors. I mean, so at one point you're either, got to climb up about 3 feet or drop down about 3 feet to the elevator 7 feet
Hmm.
tall. Somewhere in between there. But just just reporting to you. I'll continue to follow it with the attorney. We are not parties, the authority is not parties to the litigation, and quite honestly, I think probably very shortly, if not already, the statute of limitations against us may pass, because this is occurred a number of years ago, 22. So, but I'll keep you informed, and I will follow that just to make sure that there is no potential liability against the authority.
Make a note, take the stairs.
The only other thing that I had tonight to report to you was, I did think it would probably be a good idea, Ms. Davis, you mentioned about your term of office. Actually, according to the records that I have, your term of office doesn't end until next month, July 21st. That's
That's about right.
however, in going through the dates of terms of office as they are currently maintained, I'm not gonna say we, because you don't appoint yourself, the city appoints you. The terms of not office are not consistent with what they're supposed to be, and let me tell you what I mean by that. Right now, we have terms of office that end in January, September, July, December. All of the terms of office should end at the same time, but in different years. Of the 7 members, 3 of you should be reappointed at one point in time, and then 4 of you each of you serves a 4-year term of office. And at the end of your term of office, 4 of you would come off and either be reappointed or deappointed. And then with 3 of you at the end of their 4 years. So every 2 years, there should be appointments on the board. That's not exactly how it's working out. Now, it's not your responsibility because you don't appoint yourself. In terms of the length of the term of office, they seem to be correct. So we've got some that look like they're 6 years, but I think that's because reappointed late. So I simply pose to you as a body, whether you want me to raise this issue with the city in terms of getting the appointments in the order that they ought to be. Everybody should either be appointed in January or appointed on the anniversary of the date in which the resolution creating the authority was passed, because according to the way it was, the law says at the time they passed that resolution, half of you would have been appointed for 2 years, half of you would have been appointed for 4 years, and then when the 2-year term of office ran out, those would have been 4 years, and then anybody else. As I say, you're not responsible for it, but if you desire, it's your wish, I will certainly raise it with the city that we might want to get these terms of office in order the way the law calls for them today.
Yeah.
The other thing, just so you know, authorities such as this authority are somewhat unique. All authorities, or almost all authorities, which I'm familiar, the law provides that if the governing body does not appoint or appoint someone to fill a vacancy created by the end of someone's term of office, that they will continue to serve in that term of office until their successor is appointed. What's unique about development authorities is that there is a 6-month statute on that. And the law provides if the city has not acted to appoint someone within that 6 months, then the directors of the authority are authorized to elect someone to serve in that position until the end of that term, and the council certainly goes back into the summer cycle. So just so you're aware of that, if you would like, sometimes this happens simply because there's changes at the city, and whoever's been maintaining that and keeping up with that changes, and the next person doesn't know the history of it. If you would like, I'll be happy to prepare a memo to the city with respect to those terms of office that are coming up.
I think so.
I think I definitely, so I know that it was brought up, the term ending for you, Ms. Davis. So I think the city is aware of that. I don't know the other stuff that you were mentioning before that. I was definitely gonna bring that up to a city manager just to have that
If-
consistency.
If you want to bring that up and you've got, Mr. Clark has any questions, I'll be happy to just share with you my opinion on it. It's not a serious matter. It's just that the law specifies how this is supposed to happen, and we're out of sync by date
Mhm.
with what ought to be happening. We shouldn't have board members being appointed, this year, then this year, it should be
Yeah.
every 2 years. It should be.
Is there a term limit, Kirby?
No, there's no
Okay.
term limit. A board member can serve as many terms as appointed by the city, so long as they wish to continue to serve.
And then are we keeping track of making sure we are getting the training that we need? Is there any training by law that we should be getting up to date?
The only training that you are required to have 8 hours of training at the beginning when you're first appointed, if you haven't had it. And Councilman, I'll be honest with you, I need to check because I know for some authorities, the law has been updated that if you've been after a certain period of time, you need to have that course or have again, just as a refresher. But I believe everybody on the board has had that initial 8 hour
Okay.
training. So I think we're currently in compliance with that. But over time, it could be that some of you, after serving a certain period of time, may need to take the course again and have a refresher.
Thank you.
Anything else you have for me? Because that's all I have for y'all. That's it. Thank you.
Kirby.
Where are we? Okay, old business. Update on, was that the 850 update?
No,
Okay,
you're right.
Update. Redevelopment.
Economic development. So I'm gonna give a very brief update this evening, though we have lots and lots going on. Kirby stole most of my thunder, but I'll learn what's going on with the properties. But a couple of things that I wanted to bring to your attention. We do have some very early interest in a property that we own at the corner of Jonesboro Road and Courtney. Once the staff has had our chance to do our proper due diligence, there's some zoning things that we need to work through and some considerations with our planning and community development department. I'll be able to bring something back, hopefully a little bit more substantive to you in the July meeting. A couple of other things, just a broader scope for the department as a whole. We are working through coordinating with Digital Realty. That's a new data center that is coming in Fort Gillem, a town hall meeting. Hopefully within the next week to 2 weeks. Also working through, and actually I have a meeting with Mr. Clark tomorrow to start the initial draft of a community benefits agreement. That also ties with the town hall and just kind of how we roll this out, answer questions that our community and our citizens deserve to have answers to. We are also working through, as we're looking at the continued expansion of development on Main Street, working through a potential for a shared parking agreement. Right now, there is no community parking or city parking on Main Street. And so we know that as we've got townhomes coming and mixed use development here and another one a little bit further down, parking is going to be an even greater consideration. So as we are working through a couple of development proposals that have for some mixed use development on Main Street, what does a shared parking agreement look like? So I again hope that in the coming months that we'll have a more substantive update on what that looks like. I'm also excited to announce, and I apologize, I got super busy and did not have time to do my normals. Thank you, PowerPoint. But the Economic Development Office, excuse me, has new collateral. We have a new logo. We also have finally new logo for our Main Street program, as well as some additional branded collateral that is coming. The city is working through right now a new website. So again, look in the coming month or two, I believe, is when it should go live, a complete refresh for the entire city, but also marketing materials that speak to who we are, what we're really doing, the direction that we're going, and a website that supports all of that. And then the final piece of that is we also have new banners finally coming, the banners that are along Forest Parkway, Main Street, and Spark Park. They're beautiful or faded. And so we have finalized the plans and design for seasonal banners that will change out every season. We have, I believe, 126 light pole banners around the city right now. And hopefully, prayerfully, before the end of summer, our new banners will be going up. I think that is it for now. Oh, one final thing, the Blues on Main, our concert that we did last October will be coming back. It will be October the 10th at the Fountain on Main, and very excited about that and the opportunity that we have. And then finally, Habitat for Humanity has a ribbon cutting tomorrow for their second home they're dedicating here on O'Hara. It is tomorrow at 1, and we'll make sure to send you the information available to join us for ribbon cutting and a celebration of that new home that's into our community. And I will stop talking at this point because I truly could talk all day about all the things and open it up for any questions.
I don't have a question, but just want to thank you, Ms. Dennis. You and Ms. Clay are doing amazing, and just always the energy that you bring with everything is just admirable. So I truly appreciate that. Thank you.
Get to say this often, so I'm impressed.
Well, thank you. I'll take that as a huge compliment coming from you. Thank you. Thank you.
Really
So if
good.
there aren't any additional questions, I'm gonna roll into old business. Do we need to go into executive session to talk about our?
Only if we're gonna talk about the terms of.
We might, but yeah, but the presentation now. Okay, so 850 Main Street, if you have not, and I say this every meeting, if you haven't gone over, please go pay a visit. It is absolutely beautiful. The panels are almost done on the front of the building. Parking lot's been redone. The interior renovations are fabulous. The exterior renovations are fantastic. We still have the ballroom upstairs and are working through with Parks and Rec, just our rental lease agreements. And once we get a little bit further down the road, Kirby, I'm going to pull you into this because we want you to look at it as well. So it will be an additional facility available for rent and use here in the city. Proceeds coming back directly to the Development Authority for terms. We have had lots of interest in potential tenants coming, and we are very excited to present to you today Bond and Brew. And I think there are like multiple 6 degrees of separations between their business and the city of Forest Park. I believe you go to church with Tanisha, you're related to Tanisha. Talisa, and there's something else that you told me the other day. There was anyway, so she was our coffee vendor at our recent Forest Park Business Association breakfast. And when I tell you it was a hit, in addition to the delicious croissants from Best Country Donuts, but it was an absolute hit between the coffee and the iced coffee. People like iced coffee like that, but apparently they really, really do. So she is going to talk to you a little bit, give you an overview of her business, what she does, as they currently are a mobile business, but are also looking for a brick and mortar location. So I'm gonna put it over here.
Good evening again, guys. My name is Alexis, but personally, I prefer to be called Noelle. So you're more than welcome to call me that as well. It is such an honor. Thank you for inviting me today here to speak. It is an honor to be here, not only as a small business owner, but also as a native of the city of Forest Park. I went K through 12 here, Hendricks Drive Elementary, Forest Park Middle School, Forest Park High School. And my first job in high school was actually the old library right here on Main Street. So I've seen it grown over time. Bond and Brew Coffee, right now it is a mobile coffee shop. On the pamphlets that you guys do have, you kind of have a visual of that. But we do specialize in hot and cold handcrafted coffees, um, teas, lemonade refreshers, and we do have the donuts, because I know Miss Felicia asked about that earlier, the cake donuts. But we do bring the specialty coffee experience to local events, city functions, as Ms. Rochelle mentioned over there, and other neighborhood gatherings. But the mission, it does go deeper than that. We're building something rooted in community, culture, and connection. Personally, about me, a little bit of my background. I was, again, raised here in Forest Park, so the city isn't just where I would like to do business, but it is home to me. One of my cherished childhood memories is sharing a cup of coffee with my grandmother. I was way too young to do so, but that's the magic of having a grandmother, allowing you to cherish those moments. With that experience, it was more than just the coffee, it was the bond that was created with her. And that's the goal that's been, the main goal for the mobile coffee cart. Uh, that memory itself also has carried me into every area of my life, how I built relationships with, how I nurtured my faith, how I built relationships, show up for my family, and show up in my community. The foundation of Bond and Brew's name and vision is entitled in all of that right there, just the intimacy of building connections within family, faith, and in community. So far, since launching with the mobile coffee cart, I actually started out with a card table. I used to be, well, recently had a baby back in December, decided from there to go into my cart full time as a mobile coffee business, but my background is in underwriting, risk management. But the company that I was with prior, they allowed me to take my first steps out there on my card table. So hosted a few events with them. But actually, since having the mobile cart that does break down, it can go inside and outside. I've proudly served at city events, churches, local markets, and community festivals, always, again, aiming to bring joy into every cup that's served. I've also had the privilege to serve at Clayton County's developers roundtable meeting, other civic and business association events, and as I am a registered vendor within the county. The long-term goal for Bond and Brew Coffee is to bring everything that I've built on wheels into a small brick and mortar space. Again, a very intimate space because I value the intimacy amongst people. A place where neighbors can gather before work, students can study, and families can have the opportunity to create that memory that I also had with my grandmother. And why the city of Forest Park? The city raised me. I grew up here. I love the city because I believe in the people here. I want to contribute also to something that's lasting. Again, I've witnessed where the city of Forest Park was, where it is now, and what is wanting to grow to. And because there's nothing like serving into your own community. So that's enough about me personally and Bond and Brew, but I thank you guys again so much for allowing me to be here this evening and be able to speak. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys have been Rochelle and Cherie. Sorry, I get you guys' names mixed up, but thank you again for seeing my talent and allowing me to bring that talent into the city of Forest Park with the mobile coffee cart. So if you guys, I know you guys do have the pamphlet in front of you. I really hope that you get a chance to read through that. That is everything in this long elevator speech that I just gave you in a pamphlet form. And maybe you can enjoy that over your cup of coffee. So thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, I'm more than welcome to answer. And I will be on Saturday up here on the fountain early on Main if you guys would like to stop by.
Have you got a chance to visit it?
No, everyone at the previous event has asked me, I mean, everyone that came up, have you seen 850? I have not been I know where 850 Main Street is, but I have not had a chance to go over there just yet. Okay. Is it open to where, I mean, I've seen the outside.
Call us. We'll get you.
Okay, but I have seen the outside. It does not look like what it did when I was at Hendricks Drive Elementary School. So,
Yeah, just thank you. And it's always a pride and joy to have someone come back to the city and invest in us. So, that gives you a huge advantage over. It's like when you're a veteran going for a government job, you get extra points. So
oh yeah.
you get extra points for being from here and just coming back. And coffee is a big thing here. I went to, I think a retreat we had a few years ago. Everybody listed this over any type of development was a coffee shop. So
It's very diverse, and that's
Yeah.
one love that I do have for it. And teas,
Yeah.
and other specialty drinks. It does bring people together. So thank you so much.
I'm gonna invite you to some of our events.
Yeah,
Since you're doing all this. Yeah.
Still, I don't have my business cards with me, but
Right.
it's the same information from the cards are on the pamphlet as well.
Thank you.
But thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that was excellent.
Me too. I,
Yes.
can we go into a brief executive session? Brief, just to talk so that staff can have some benchmarks around lease and terms for 850 as we work towards finalization of some things.
Or that, do we have anything else on the agenda?
No. No, sir, that's it.
Then, if not, then, the appropriate thing to do would be a motion to go into executive session to discuss, the terms of potential lease on property. That, we can actually do it either of two ways. We can actually adjourn into executive session, we can leave, or we can adjourn into executive session, stay right here and let them leave.
That one?
We can stay right here.
Yeah, we'll stay here.
Establish that.
Her back live.
Thank you. So I was saying that, I would at some point, Chair would like maybe some type of retreat or way of us to get it together, and especially after the new elections in their city with maybe the other boards. I know at some point we talked about it. I just kind of want to make sure that, I don't know, like hearing all the incubator stuff, just wanting for everybody to kind of know what everybody else is doing. It might be an early phase, right now, because it's still like 6 months out or, 5 months out, but I don't know what y'all thought of that, but just having like some type of all of us coming together and seeing what all the boards are doing.
I'm sorry, proposing as a joint board retreat of all of the boards, not just the board chairs.
Yeah, yeah. all the
Okay.
members, yeah.
Got it.
And council as well, or just?
Whatever y'all deem, I just think it'd be nice to, I don't really know, we did it at some point, I think.
You did one when Bruce was here.
Yeah,
It was a weekend.
I thought that was cool because we did, that's where everybody put their sticky notes on the coffee shop, so
Hmm,
it was very memorable and just to see what everybody's doing, so. Yeah.
okay.
But that's it, I guess for you all to work on that and
Mhm.
what that looks like.
We can definitely do that.
Thank you.
We good?
You're good.
Anything else for discussion or consideration? No? So can we get a motion to adjourn?
I second.
Don't anybody leave until you sign this little paper.